Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank, and with me is Ben. Hi.
You were thinking about doing a weird intro, weren't you?
Yeah,
I could feel it in here.
It didn't happen.
You could have called me Beowulf. It's right there. Pretty easy.
Sure. But no, I'm not going to do that.
You could have just called me Bro. You could have introduced
Ben,
yourself as
he
Bro.
never drinks wine.
God. So we're doing a topic that I've been hungry for a long time, in the podcast and out of the podcast, and that's Beowulf, baby. We're here, and Hank was gracious enough to do like a full deep dive, so we like took in so much Beowulf.
A lot of Beowulf.
Like,
so I read the Seamus Heaney translation from it's like 20 years old at this point.
Yeah.
I got like halfway through the MDH translation, the Maria Dahvana Headley. I read the Image, Santiago García, David Rubin, Beowulf comic. I read the Gareth Hinds Beowulf comic. I read the DC Dragon Slayer Beowulf comic. And then I watched Beowulf from 1999. Beowulf and Grendel from 2005, along with the documentary Wrath of Gods about the making of Beowulf and Grendel 2005. And me and Ben watched Beowulf 2007 together because I needed a friend.
Yeah, I knew he'd need someone to anchor.
But honestly, Ben, we fucked up though because we didn't play Beowulf the Legend, the board game.
Yeah, I've looked into that. It took me a bit of searching because somewhere it was labeled as a video game somewhere. I was real confused.
And it's not on the Tabletop Sim Workshop. I checked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also picked up the, what is it?
I forget who fucking translated the Lind Ward illustration from
the William Ellery Leonard verse translation that has Lind Ward illustrations because I fucking love Lind Ward.
Yeah, that was, I think I grabbed mine after
just a nice book
after we did Frankenstein, and I'm like, does this guy do Beowulf? Like, he did Frankenstein. Beowulf's a classic, and he did. And I bought it immediately.
Yeah, I love his Grendel in particular.
Dude, the Grendel is so good. The image of Beowulf tearing off Grendel's arm is top fucking tier. I was showing, I think that edition is from like 30 something. It's like 33 or 37, I think. It's old. And Anya didn't believe me. I was showing her the art and she's like, this is really good. Like, what? It's like 70s, right? I'm like, no, it's old. It's great.
Yeah, 39. And the translation's from 23.
Okay, yeah, that I knew the translation was a bit older. Yeah. And it's fine. It puts me to sleep in a good way. Like, it's a weird, I like it, but it's just the right sort of poetry verse that like makes it like it's not challenging, but like it makes your brain work just enough to be like, damn, I'm tired. In a weird way. Yeah, no, Beowulf is like my true love. I mean, aside from these, I think I've probably read another 4 or 5 translations. A contender was Tolkien's translation, just because it's Tolkien. It's like you don't read that when you're in the mood for Beowulf. You read that when you're just in the mood for more Tolkien, honestly. Like, it's good. It's very good, but it's so lengthy. He adds a lot of beef where there didn't need to be any.
What beef does he?
Like it's just like he pads stuff, you know. Like like everything gets a full description. Because like it's a full prose, like it's translation, but he gets really into it. It's good though, but
okay. I don't know. I mean, one of the reasons I was able to dive deep on Beowulf is not that long.
Yes, yeah, it's not that long, and it's ultimately like not that difficult or anything.
And it's breeze like it's like 3 fights.
yeah, and it's shitload of digression, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Seamus Heaney.
I have no idea.
I think I always say Heaney, but I don't actually know. It's like the Robert Fagels of Beowulf. Like
yes.
people just call it Heaney Wolf.
Yeah, I remember when it came out as it being like a big thing, and it's very funny. I was talking to my parents on the phone about reading Beowulf, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that like," and that new translation. It's like that translation is 20 years old.
Oh man, that's pretty good. Yeah. And it's just solid. Like, it's been a while since I read that one, and going back, I didn't do like a full read of it, but I got a little sucked in again, and it's crazy like how good it is in its simplicity and all of that. And I think the last time I'd read it was like early on, and it seemed super complex at the time.
Gotcha.
But like, yeah, going back, it's like there's so many worse translations, and they're just, even the ones that are fine by like other authors I like and translators I like, they're just not as good, and I can't even point to why sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, and then
but like, yeah, what I was looking for was like something on par with the Fagels for the Iliad Odyssey, because so I knew this was the translation I wanted to do first, and then the MDH is like funny, but it wasn't the way I wanted to experience Beowulf for the first time.
No, I didn't know how, if I like, I mean, you went deep in a way that's like, we'll just read all the translations.
Yeah, check them all out.
Yeah, but like if we were just doing one, like, because like I do think
again it's about a time thing. Like I had the time to do it. But like my favorite, I fucking love looking up different versions of a story. Like, honestly, dude, that is just a thing that is inherent to that I love. So,
I mean, yeah, no,
not
that's
that
why
often I get to do it beyond like comic book stuff. So
yeah, that's why I fucking love, like, I just can keep coming back to Beowulf, and it's like every single version has something a little different to offer. And like, I mean, even the terrible translation that I am still slogging through from like 57, like it's not great, but at the time it was pretty good. Like, it was used in schools and shit, and also like it's from 57, so it's before Tolkien really blew up for Lord of the Rings, so he's just Professor Tolkien in the forward. Like that was his shtick. Like that's what he was known for.
Yeah, I love to like look at translations of the Iliad and just look at how they do the first line, because you could, if how badly did they fuck up the first line? It's like the test for how bad a translation this is.
Well, that's like the so in Beowulf. How are you starting this? The single, probably one of the most difficult words to tackle. And we got so, bro, what ho.
Yeah, what ho. That's the
what ho.
The Leonard translation.
But yeah, and I think just the last thing on translation, I do think the MDH version is like my favorite. Like, it's
fair enough.
It's ridiculous, and honestly, I wish he would do it again, but like without the bro-ish stuff, because her alliteration is fantastic.
Yeah,
like
the bro stuff I get used to. It's like it's the daddy. When she uses daddy, I'm like, okay, calm down.
Oh, it's great though. I love it. Hashtag blessed.
It's it's a little cringe, honestly. Like it's super dated to right now.
Nah, I'm into it. I'm
not against
full send.
I just think it honestly doesn't fit with most of the translation, because most of the translation is just really good. Yeah. And then every once in a while, it's like you're just being extra.
Yeah. But her writing, like the alliteration and the actual poetry of it, like fully overrides any of the little nonsense.
Anyone who fucks with the Geats, bro, they have to fuck with me.
I was gonna say,
bro, fate can fuck you up, and meanwhile, Beowulf gave 0 shits. Or the lines that really stood out to me.
Anyone who fucks with the Geats fucks with me is so good. I love the fucking broness. It's great. Yeah. So Beowulf, for those who don't know, pretty cool story. Once you get past it was one of those things, like in school and even in university, like I wish people would stop like making fun of it for being old, because like it's good. It's just fighting. It's just him fighting shit and doing cool stuff.
It's literally he fights Grendel. He fights Grendel's mom, and then he fights a dragon when he's old.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the story.
Yeah, and like we get these like in between each fight, and then like even after, like the dragon fight, we get digressions which serve to like mirror, like kind of what's happening, what will happen, all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot like the Iliad. It's, and much shorter.
Yeah. Yeah.
With like, it doesn't have like just lists of boats for page after page.
Oh my god, the fucking boats. Yeah. Yep. And what the funniest thing is, like, now that we've really done a deep dive, I had not seen anything other than the 2007 film before doing this. And now I'm extra frustrated. Like, why is it so hard to just make a direct film? It's the easiest fucking thing in the world to make cool. And instead, everyone's like, no, Beowulf is like a power-hungry, greedy horn dog. That's Beowulf. That's what I got
all
from
the
this.
Movies are so horny and misogynistic.
It's pretty bad.
It's like fucking like... Why?
They read the poem, they read the original, and they're like, Grendel's mom was kind of a baddie. What if she was hot? Like,
what if she was hot, though?
What if Hrothgar banged Grendel's mom?
Well, only the 2 of those 3 movies made Grendel's mom hot, at least.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Well, that's because the one that she wasn't.
The other one just gave Grendel a hot baby mama.
Oh.
But yeah, of all the adaptations we read, easily my favorite is the García Rubin comic. Because that one just fucking looks beautiful.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And it like does the whole story. It's just kind of everything I want. It's really, I really liked it.
I was losing.
Like, that's an easy recommend to fucking anyone. Like, that's just a solidly really good comic.
I forgot. I mean, it'd been ages since I've gone through the comics. I pick up the Hinds one now and again because it's tiny. It doesn't take all the muscle in my arms to lift. The Garcia and Rubin one is giant. It's so big.
It's very large.
I had forgotten.
It was also the most expensive thing.
Oh, that sounds right.
Getting any of these books.
Oh, how much did it run you? Out of curiosity.
It was like it wasn't that much.
I know it's not terrible.
$20 or something.
Okay.
Probably. I think like the other thing was the older book. But because that included shipping because I couldn't get it on like Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
I had to find it used.
In the Rubín and García Rubín comic, I had forgotten how crazy cool the dragon fight was.
Yeah, dude.
In particular, all of the little, I was losing my mind because it was like the atmosphere was so good. Every page was like littered with like little cinders and sparks and stuff. And that was like the thing that stuck out to me, like just how every single page, and the atmosphere was crazy. It was so good. I love it.
Yeah. Just like the red of
Yeah, dude.
The way it just makes the color is so good. Yeah. I also that's of the adaptations. That's easily the best like ripping off of Grendel's arm for me.
Oh yeah. Well,
like they really get all like every sinew tearing as he's just holding on to this giant arm.
Yeah, and Grendel's fucking big.
Yeah. The movies I think all of them fucked it up.
The movies hate they hate the idea of strong man ripping off demon arm. They hate it for some reason, and it's cool though. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, like every one of them, like Beowulf is using some tool to like just tie it up, and then it happens to get ripped off or whatever.
We should, I think we're 16, 17 minutes deep. I do want to give like a brief summary though of the fight. So
sure.
Basically, there's a dude, Hrothgar, and he's like the ring giver, the gold giver, the king, and of the I don't. Is it all the Danes or is it just a Danish like group? I think it's like he's a warlord in Denmark, and he has this hall, Headley, and it's like it's the hall to end all halls. It's big, it's wooden, it's gold, it's amazing, and everybody's merrymaking and all this shit. And off in the distance, off in the moors and the fens and swamps and shit, Grendel doesn't like that. He doesn't like that merrymaking because he doesn't get to merry-make. And he's like a spawn of Cain, the brother killer from the Bible. So he goes and terrorizes the hall, kills a bunch of people every night, rinse and repeat until Hrothgar's like, shut it down. Happy is canceled. And I forget how long is it. We watch so many fucking movies that make it like a one-time event. It's like what, 10 years or something, or it's like a long time.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I forget. It doesn't even say on Wikipedia. It's like years and shit. It's a long time because they keep trying to actually fight back a little. Anyway, Beowulf hears about this and he sails across from Geatland, which is like Sweden, I guess. He sails from Geatland to Denmark, and he knows of Hrothgar. He has some ties. Hrothgar helped out his dad when Beowulf was a small little Beowulf, and he's like, I can take care of this for you. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, like me. And he's like, no, I will take care of this for you, and I'm not going to use a sword, because Grendel doesn't use a sword, and I'm going to just fuck him up with my fists. So he like fights Grendel, rips off his arm, keeps it as a trophy, and then Grendel's mom wants revenge. So she comes back, she starts killing a few people, she kills Hrothgar's like favorite person aside from his wife, Asher, whatever. And then they're like, Hrothgar's like, Beowulf, you've done so well. Can you do another thing for me? And Beowulf is like, hell yeah, I got you. And he goes all the way to where Grendel's mom is like living below a little pond, I guess, a mire, a pond, whatever. Dives down, breaks a sword over her, finds a giant sword in her lair, fucks her up with it, cuts off Grendel's head, takes it all back to Hrothgar. Hrothgar is like, this is amazing, take all this gold and all this shit. Goes back to Geatland and then becomes a king, rules well for 50 years, fucks up anybody in his way, and then a servant steals a cup from a dragon, and the dragon starts burning the countryside. And Beowulf is like, no, well, this is on me, I guess. I'm the hero. So
True.
He gears up. He has I love that the story points out, like, he has an iron shield made. Like, no one's using iron shields. Why the fuck would you need an iron shield? Because it breathes fire, dude.
True.
I just like that it makes a point out of it. It's cool. Makes it a little sexier, I guess. So he goes and he, like, takes a troop of, I guess it's 12, right? It's 12.
Again, some of these little details are.
I'm pretty sure it's 12 because there's like a little, like, he brings 12 people, 12 disciples,
like 12 apostles. Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Most
brings
of them.
them.
Don't matter.
Literally all of them don't matter.
It's kind of a reverse Judas situation here.
Yeah.
Where only one person stands by him.
So Beowulf starts fighting the dragon, and it's fucking crazy. And everybody gets, like, instead of helping, they all just scatter, except one dude, Wiglaf, who's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you guys? Our lord is fighting. I'm going in." He fucking runs in to back up Beowulf and helps him kill the dragon, but sadly Beowulf has sustained too many wounds, and he ends up, like, as he's dying, he's like, "Wiglaf, you're like, I don't have any heir, I don't have a queen or any blood heirs to the throne or anything like that." The Wiglaf is, like, distantly related to him somehow, forget how, but Beowulf, like, tells him that he'll be the next king, and also bring me some of the treasures so I can see what I fought for. So Wiglaf, like, brings out, like, a crown and, like, tapestry and shit, and they, like, bury Beowulf they make a big old tower on a cliff face, or the top of a cliff face, I should say, so that he'll never be forgotten. And then
Wiglaf gives a big speech about how they're all fucked.
Yeah.
Because they abandoned Beowulf in his time of need, and people are going to hear about that and how they're weak
and just that, like, Beowulf's gone. Like, that's
and then, like, the peace that they had was because of Beowulf and people being afraid of him and stuff.
It was actually
there's just
but
that's like the general story, but there's lots of good details in there, just like all the stuff about swords.
Yeah.
Like Beowulf goes to fight Grendel's mother. He's given Hrunting it's just like a Danish sword of legend, and then it, like, completely fails. It's like, this sword for the first time failed.
Yeah.
Then he finds this even older sword that, like, goes back to the before history or whatever. It's like
the giant sword. Yeah.
Yeah. And that works, but then it melts as he's, like, leaving.
So he just has the hilt.
At the end of his life, he's got this, like, gem-encrusted sword that completely fails on the dragon.
Yeah.
And, it's, Wolfang has, like, an actually good sword. That is why he's, like, actually able to help Beowulf.
Yeah, no, the emphasis placed on the weapons is so fucking cool. And it's like,
and there's like this an implication that, like, Beowulf is just so powerful a person that swords just fucking like they can't hold up to his power.
I love the detail and I think different translations, like, give it slightly different attention, but the sword that he finds in Grendel's mom's lair, like, having the runes on it, like, its story. Oh, it's fucking cool. I love that shit.
And, like, when he gets out, all those runes are ruined.
Yeah.
The ones that are left.
And then I love how he tells Unferth, the guy who gives him the Danish sword, he's like, yeah, it was good. It helped. It wasn't your fault. So, Unferth,
I know one of the comics makes that incredibly sarcastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably the Rubín and García one.
Yeah.
They lead into that a little bit. So one of the things, especially with the film, that they, and I think maybe multiple, no, just the 2007 film that I can remember, and he'll correct me if I'm misremembering. Sure. And some of the comics and stuff, like, they really like shitting on Unferth. So
yes,
I kind of skipped over
again, like that sarcastic tone to that comic.
Oh yeah, or even so in the book when Beowulf arrives and he's boasting about his capabilities, Unferth is like kind of an advisor, like I don't think truly an advisor, but he's like a higher up in Hrothgar's hall and shit, and he kind of calls Beowulf out.
Yeah, he's a dude who heard some shit about Beowulf, and he's like, "Yo, are you this Beowulf? I what I heard on the street." And then
Beowulf like fires back.
Beowulf's like, "Nah, son.
Yeah, you got your story. You got your facts wrong, and also you killed your brother, and you smell like an alcoholic."
Oh yeah. But like I think like the adaptations jump on that as like, oh, this is the jerk guy we can use to be the jerk archetype.
They paint him the exact same way that they paint that like Tolkien has what's his name, who's like the advisor to the king of Rohan. Wormtongue, yeah. They like make him sleazy and shit, and he's not supposed to be a great person, but like, he's not supposed to be nearly that bad. Like, one of the things that I've done a little dive into, like, through school like some other reading and stuff.
It's like the movie, they love to turn these characters into tropes when they're like just not important characters. Mm-hmm. Like they just happen to be people who are in this story, and they don't really have necessarily like the strong archetypal characteristics, but the movie, like the adaptations, like to pull on them and make them archetypical characters in ways that are just kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like they don't help the story in any way, and they're just like, why are you making this so cliche?
Yeah. Well, and the thing with Unferth that I really like, and none of the like no adaptation likes to do, is that he's like, he killed his brother, which is clearly bad. We have the shit with Cain and everything and all that, but also like he's kind of doing his job. Like,
yeah, he's not giving Hrunting to Beowulf because he thinks Hrunting sucks. Hrunting has helped many heroes. It's a great sword. And it just doesn't work in this case.
And when he's calling out Beowulf, like that's part of his job. Like that's a thing that was done, is he's calling out Beowulf and he's saying like, you lost that race and shit. But that he's giving Beowulf the opportunity to boast back. Like it's sort of it's a thing that was done. And when Beowulf is like saying, "Oh, you're weak, you smell like an alcoholic," whatever, that's part of it. And then like we even get in the translations, like after that little exchange, it says Beowulf began his formal boast. Like boasting was a thing, dude. You get to boast a little. You got to pump yourself up.
You got to tell stories, dude. We don't have TV.
We
don't even have radio.
The king's
no
not
podcasts. What are we doing here?
Oh, Unferth, you heard that I lost to Brecca? You must not have subscribed to my podcast.
You must have only listened to Brecca's podcast.
The inferior. Last I checked, I have more subscribers, so... Was Brecca featured on the front page of Spotify? I don't think so. And Beowulf also, like the thing with Brecca, for anyone not in the know, he had a swimming contest, and Brecca won the swimming contest, but the reason that Brecca won was because Beowulf had to kill 9 sea monsters with his sword. He got a little distracted, but, you know, he killed all the sea monsters, so now nobody has to worry about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's just good shit. And there's
It's
a
just
lot
good.
of... It's so cool reading this and then reading like some of the Norse myths and everything, and then looking and being like, oh, Tolkien really liked this shit. Like the influence.
I mean, the dragon attack is
Yeah.
like so much
The dragon,
what's smog.
yeah.
It's like, yeah.
The dragon and like some of the like the bit with the giant sword and the runes and like the origin of this random weapon, like that's 100% something like if you didn't know better, it could be right out of Lord of the Rings, you know?
Yeah.
Like clearly, oh, there's, aside from the swords, there's another, I think it's like a crown or something. I forget what exact piece of like jewelry it is. They like focus super hard on it. Like, oh, this is this thing that Beowulf gives to somebody, or someone gives to Beowulf, and it's like they're talking about its origin, and then they go forward and talk about how it gets lost. Like just random focusing on things. I like details that work super good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of the films just really take a shit on that. What was your favorite film?
Yeah. Oh, the 1999 one.
Yeah.
Because that one is what it is. It's cheese.
Yeah. No, it's
It's-
just straight ridiculous.
Christopher Lambert saying, "I'm Beowulf."
I'm Beowulf.
All through, I love that in all the movies, Beowulf says, "I'm Beowulf."
My favorite is in the CGI in the 2007 version when he bursts out of the sea monster's eye, and he doesn't say "I'm Beowulf." He just says "Beowulf," like for no fucking reason.
Yeah. My least favorite was the 2007 one, which is hilarious because that's like the only one anybody's heard of. Like, I looked at like the box office for Beowulf and Grendel is hilariously low for how high that movie's budget was.
Yeah.
Like that movie, in Wrath of the Gods, they say their initial budget was like 15 million, but also that budget was like super low. Like that's why they have money problems the whole production. Was that wasn't enough. They were like $1 million in the hole before that movie even started shooting.
Oh my god.
And that movie did not crack $100,000 in theaters.
Yeah, that tracks. That was my least favorite, I think.
Sure.
It's just
I just think the shots of Iceland are incredible.
oh, the scenery is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just slow as shit. Also, I don't like that Grendel is just a dude.
I mean,
Like,
I
he's
could
just
see
a
why you
guy.
wouldn't like that because at the end of that movie they go, "Man, Beowulf sucks, doesn't it?"
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, his poem is shit. They literally
I can't
say
believe
it.
they do that. At
They
the end.
literally say it's shit. I thought you were just like being hyperbolic, but nope. They call it
Nope.
shit verbatim.
I don't like. Why did you make Beowulf then? Like, it's just a bad idea for adapting Beowulf. It's like, well, we got to make it more real, downplay all the magic.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually
it just sucks.
funny enough.
But,
I've not played it, but after David mentioned it, I have read up the summary for like there's like a Beowulf quest in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They do they take the same approach. Like it's a more toned down thing that had happened, and then this like person that you're working with is like, I want to tell a story from this, and they use it as like a basis and make it more cool.
Yeah. And then there's the rape part and how they handle that. That really.
In Beowulf and Grendel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Then she's like Grendel rapes her, and then she's like all about Grendel.
Yeah.
It's not good. Not a fan.
Dude, I mean...
Not a fan of that addition to this story.
Like, 99 also, like, that first scene, like, Jesus. Like,
yeah,
you know...
99 is also
they're,
incredibly...
They're trying to... They're, like, clearly going to rape
That one
her
has
and stuff.
sexy rape?
And then...
Where Grendel's mother rapes Hrothgar?
No, that asleep? One too, yeah.
The sexy rape.
Yeah. Oh, and then, like, the fact that in the beginning, they almost rape what's-her-name, and then, like, she escapes only to get fucking axed in the chest. And that was no
first
good.
She gets, like, just whapped in the chest, and then...
Well, yeah.
They do not treat her...
You gotta beat on her a little bit first,
yeah,
you know?
Jesus fucking Christ.
That was
and also, like, that movie's idea of, like, who is Beowulf? He's a guy who shoots crossbows and does flip jumps. And now the flip jumps are pretty amazing.
Yeah, God, he spends half the fucking film backflipping.
Yes. But then also he, like, when he gets to fights, he just gets his ass kicked, but then he, like, has a healing factor like he's fucking Wolverine.
Literally Wolverine, yeah. I'm not human.
Also, he's, like, the son of Baal.
Yep. Yeah, half son of. He's like a half demon.
Yeah,
like some blade shit.
Uh-huh.
What I
also that movie came out in '99 and feels like it came out in the '80s.
Yeah, you said same day as The Matrix.
Yeah, it wasn't in theaters.
It was in Italy. It opened in a theater.
Well, it opened it, but what I found from the Italy opening is like a month later than even its U.S. release. So. I don't even know. But right. Yeah, the only information on a Box Office Mojo is like, yeah, it opened in Italy in theaters.
My favorite...
It made like not a lot of money.
No. My favorite part of 99 is that the CGI looked better than 2007.
It's true. Grendel's mom's transformation at the end.
Oh, it's cool.
Pretty sick.
It's dope, dude.
She goes from a naked lady to a fucking horrific monster.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
really
as cool.
Fucked up.
That's not as cool of an interpretation as 2007, where Angelina Jolie just fucks everybody in sight, and they all fall for it, and then clearly Wiglaf falls for it as well.
The 2007 one is easily the worst thing.
Dude, it's bad.
That movie's ideas of like how to change the Beowulf story are fucking terrible. God.
Yep.
God. Like, there are, redeeming qualities about the other two movies for all their faults.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Although, the documentary about the making of Beowulf and Grendel makes me feel like, no one should ever make a movie.
I did not watch the documentary.
Okay.
It came down. I was like, I don't really want to make an account and then spend $3 on this.
Yeah, they just like weren't paying people because the people who were gonna fund them were just like doling out the money slowly so that they'd be compelled to finish the movie.
Oh my god.
And like every step of the way, they're like not being able to pay. The like crew is like threatening to quit because the conditions are fucking terrible because they started late, so they're like going into winter.
Well,
they like finished their last day scene, and it then like from the next day forward, it's just snow everywhere. They like got so lucky.
Yeah.
And then there's just like disaster after disaster. Like they
said the ship was leaking that they were filming on.
Yeah, so like it's like the director's like, oh, this whole movie is about this boat and about seeing the boat, and then like they get the boat in the water and it just is like a sieve because the boat was supposed to be prepared like before they got there and it wasn't. So like it was not. It's like an old boat that wasn't taken care of and wasn't prepared for what they were doing with it. So they put it in the water. It's just sinking.
Amazing.
It's like, it's a metaphor for the movie, says the assistant director.
Oh, that's great.
So, and they're like, so they're on the frozen water with like the whole cast who are like taking off their life jackets when they're going to do shoots because they can't figure out a way for them to have their life jackets under their costumes.
Yeah.
As this boat is sinking and they're like sub pumping between takes, they're like just like have all these pumps pumping out the water so it doesn't sink. And they're in freezing water where like if you're in there for 5 minutes, you're dead.
Yeah.
And they're like not telling the crew how bad the boat that they're in is sinking. It's like, you people are fucking, this is terrible.
That's film.
You guys are really fucking lucky that nobody
Hollywood,
like
baby.
died on this movie.
Yeah. God.
And there's just like shit after shit. I'm just like, this movie, and like the movie is getting made because they start in the hole. So like they need to get the funding for the movie so that they're not in debt when the movie, like the producers aren't in debt when the movie stops making. It's like it's like a scam basically. And then the movie comes out and nobody sees it. It's pretty, it's like, man, fucking movies are a nightmare. But it's very, like, they got good shots. Like, it's too bad their script is fucking rotten.
Yeah.
And there's also just stuff about, like, they want to film in Iceland because the director's from Iceland. It's like his dream about it. But, like, Iceland is, you know, a wealthy place. And so, or, like, Iceland's economy is doing well. So, like, it's, like, the most expensive country to make a movie in, to like pay the crew.
Yeah, that sounds
and
right.
They can't get. They're like complaining how like there aren't college students here to drive our trucks for free.
Oh my god.
We have to pay people. It's terrible.
God.
My favorite shot, there's like a shot of just two of the crew talking, like on the last day of their shooting, who were like ready to quit. Like, I'm going to leave early to send my invoice. And dude is just like flicking a stick. And you just see the rage in him. I'm like, I feel you, dude. I would not. I would not put up with this shit.
Yeah.
God. But like they built that cabin and filmed in that cabin. Like everything they did practically in that movie. Like there's no like CG or anything. So like they built that cabin, they built it, and like at one point like the fire pit started a fire that like was spreading into the foundation of the building as they're shooting. It's like, and they're like, well, you know, at least the nearby volcano hasn't erupted. And it's like, next shot, oh, the volcano is erupting. It's like they had like the coldest winter in 60 years. They're dealing with like hurricane speed winds. It's
amazing.
It's like kind of amazing. Like it was a fun documentary to watch, but like they should not have made this movie. Well, these people are kind of evil.
Unreal.
Movie making is a scam. People shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But when you do things practically, she could look really fucking pretty.
I mean, yeah, no, the film looks great.
Yeah. It's like they at some point they say like, with the scenery, it's like we have a $60 million effects budget. Kind of not like it, and honestly, because it's real, it looks better. But there's stuff like they wanted to shoot in like one smaller rowboat scene on like a river, and they had scouted it, and then there's a storm, and like the entire beach that they were going to use is gone. Like just physically, the place they were going to shoot part of the movie is just no longer exists.
That's amazing. Can you imagine? Like, oh, this is perfect. Just fucking.
Yeah. They're just like scamming their way, lying through their teeth one day at a time to like get this movie made. This movie that like you and I are like the only people who have watched.
Apparently, yeah, we're like a significant portion of the audience.
Yeah.
Man.
That's like about making Beowulf a morality tale. Like it sucks so bad at its like core of what the story is.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah,
but
again, I recommend the documentary was interesting.
Yeah, it's still like I'll do it someday.
Yeah, like I literally could only find it on Vimeo to like
there's how did you come across it? Did you get to their like official site?
Yeah, I went to their official website.
You could buy the DVD.
Yeah, that was where I actually tracked it down.
So there is one adaptation of Beowulf.
Like the documentary was made by a guy who's like literally the only movie he's made is that documentary because he happened to be there filming stuff. There are a lot of great scenes of like finance meetings starting. I was like, okay, the first thing we need to do is shut off the camera.
Yeah. There's one adaptation I want that we do not have, and it was not something I knew I wanted until very recently, and that is a Junji Ito version.
Oh hell yeah!
Can you fucking imagine Grendel?
That would be very good.
Dude,
oh man, his Grendel would be so good.
It'd be so fucking good. Oh, as soon as we read like Frankenstein and shit, I was like, yeah. I need Beowulf.
No, we got that DC version though, Ben.
Oh,
where Grendel kills Satan.
Yeah, and like Dracula.
And then he's ready to kill Dracula's next.
Yeah,
but then the comic got canceled, so that doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't know. Fucking adding Satan, turning Vlad the Impaler into Dracula. That's not a bad. As far as additions to Beowulf, I'm not mad about that one.
Yeah, no, like there's two ways you can go about adding on a Beowulf, and it's either like more scenic shots and detail and shit like that, or it's going in the opposite direction and being like, what if Beowulf had like an evil twin?
What if he did
just
sick
random
jumps?
Shit?
Was just jumping and doing flip jumps.
Sick jumps. What if Grendel's mom was a former Playboy bunny?
I don't love that one. And also that DC comic has like the 70s idea of female representation.
Yeah.
Let's add a female character and then have everybody constantly complaining about how her womanly ways. Fuck.
Yeah.
Part in the fucking letters page where they're like, and you know, the original story had disdain for women. It had like no female characters, so we've fixed that. I'm like, you fucking morons.
God. And like
you total tools.
And every fucking cover just has her on it or some woman on it.
Yeah.
See, I was so less focused on the actual story that was happening in those comics because I was fully distracted by all the ads and stuff. Because I've never looked at an old comic or anything before, so this is like my only thing. So I was just like, man, they're literally like, I know that it comes from like reality when you see this shit in media, like references to it, but the fact that they're literally in these books, like, send in 10 cents to this company and get X-ray goggles, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a fucking thing. It's the thing. It was just cool. I mean,
those Hostess Pie ads.
Hostess Pie ads. Are those the ones with like Batman and shit?
Yeah, Marvel did them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Captain America and Spider-Man ones existed. Those two.
Didn't they like
Hostess fruit pies had their tentacles and.
Isn't there like a shitload of phrasing moments with those? I feel like there was.
Probably.
Like, I love being filled with pies. Batman, stuff me with your pie. I just
Sure.
Yeah, no, those comics are, I mean, they're cool. From a perspective of someone who's never encountered old comics, it's cool looking at old comics.
Yeah,
it's like how
sure.
like as a snapshot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that it's like Satan sends Beowulf on a fetch quest to get potions so he can get stronger is like the plot of that comic. That part's not great. But the part where Grendel then kills Satan, I'm pretty okay with. Like, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man.
It was stabs him in the chest. Hell yeah. Get him, Grendel.
You know who's stronger than Satan, though? God.
Stan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love the Gareth Hinds comic.
Yeah, it's...
I don't love the art. And
okay,
it's
I was
like,
going to say the art is...
Yeah, I don't love the art style, and I don't love the thing of it just has the text of Beowulf. It doesn't really try to adapt that part. It's just like a picture book comic of Beowulf with all, like, instead of doing action, it's just instead of doing the text of the action, it's doing a comic, but it's not like putting any of it has no word balloons or anything. I don't love that form of adaptation either, but mostly it's that I don't love the art.
Okay. Yeah, no, I could see that. I like it.
Particularly in comparison to the García Rubin.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It's hard to fucking...
Like, that's what I read the García Beowulf Rubin's version first, so that's what I had to compare it to. So
yeah. No, it's...
And again, just not a form of comic book adaptation I love.
I really like the stuff it does in the end when we have old Beowulf and it like drains the color except for a few bits. That's cool. I like it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I really just would like, aside from all the other wants I have for adaptations, like if there could be a very, very faithful, even like the García Rubin comic is still like pretty comic-y, I think. Like it's very, very good, but I want the equivalent of the Slaughterhouse-5 graphic novel, you know? Like I want the perfect, like I want something that just hits all of the right notes.
The García Rubin one's pretty close for me. Like that's pretty much all I want.
I don't know. That's fair.
What is definitely completely not what I want is the 2007 animated movie.
Yeah, we didn't read that comic.
I looked through it.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
I did not.
It wasn't. It's just bad.
Wow, really? Shocking.
And it's like incredibly short too. Like every issue is like really short.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And just like, a section of that movie. It didn't seem worth looking into deeper.
Yeah.
They don't even like go all out and drawing Angelina Jolie.
I was about to ask.
Half-ass even that part. So.
I was about, wow. Imagine making a comic with gold-plated, naked Angelina Jolie and you don't fucking spend 90% of your time drawing those panels.
I mean, honestly, this movie cared way more about that first shot of her face than any other part of it.
The tiny little, like, hairs and, like, details in the skin and shit.
Yeah. It's so funny how much they care at only that point and how the rest of that movie might as well be Shrek.
Comparing comparing that initial shot to her at the end in the water with the sunset, fucking terrible. It looks so bad.
Yeah.
And then we had Gold Man.
Also,
I fucking forgot
Gold
Man. Literally,
can't forget Gold Man.
The dragon just turns into the Gold Man, who's Beowulf's son. Ugh.
Yeah. The 2007's movie's idea is Beowulf doesn't kill Grendel's mom. He bones her.
And then comes back and lies about it.
And then the dragon at the end is his son.
Who is actually a gold man.
Who's actually a gold man who can turn into a dragon.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
It's
real fucking awful.
Bad. Yeah.
That's such a bad
story.
know,
we are in the original like manuscript and stuff, due to like fire and all the other shit that's happened over the years, we are missing portions, which is why the translations leave a little bit out. Maybe those are the pages that we're missing. Oh. Yeah, it's just bad.
Oof. And it's like everything that's bad about like kind of the Neil Gaiman school of retelling old stories, of just like having to connect everything. Like, Beowulf can't just fight Grendel and Grendel's mom and then fight a dragon. The dragon has to be connected some way. How can we make the story edgier and sexier and connect it? And like the most noxious result therein is what occurs.
I mean, we can't just have the dragon being mad that someone stole a cup. It has to be the magic special cup that served as a fucking contract between Beowulf and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they fucking place so much more emphasis, like you had mentioned this while we were watching, the fact that they place so much more emphasis on Grendel's mother and she still doesn't get a name. Like, if you're gonna make her a fucking strong character and like put her in the film so much, like call her something, you know?
Yeah, her primary thing in the story is no longer being Grendel's mom.
Yeah.
That is like secondary to her other characteristics, at least. Come on.
Yeah.
Give her a fucking name. What are you doing?
It wouldn't even be that fucking difficult. Like, just call her Lilith or something. Just cop out. Whatever.
Yeah. Like, who gives a shit at this point?
You already gave her fucking spike heels. She's not wearing shoes.
Call her Kerrigan, because she's
third
queen.
Holy fuck. That'd be great, actually.
Kerrigan, also a character with spike heels.
God.
But I know who gave her those spike heels. Fucking Abathur. Fucking that pervert.
My favorite thing, like the only redeeming thing, having gone through 2007 Beowulf again, I really like Unferth. Like, not really as a character, but I love John Malkovich's delivery. Like, it's just the parts, it's just so funny. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but I find it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the Grendel in that movie.
You don't like him just screaming and then turning into a child?
No.
You don't like his arm being torn off by a chain and a door?
I fucking hate the arm door thing. That sucks so bad.
Yep.
I mean, the one in Beowulf and Grendel also, it's just like, it's like the same thing, kind of. He gets hung from a chain.
At least the one in...
But at least he cuts his own arm off in that one.
Yeah. At least in 1999 Beowulf, he, like, has a fucking arm blade thing. Like,
he's this assassin blade.
Yeah.
Because he's from Assassin's Creed.
Ugh. I'm Beowulf.
Just
on a fucking horse. Who are you? I'm Beowulf.
Yeah, and the I'm Beowulf thing stands out to me because actually a thing I really liked reading reading it for the first time is how the Geats kind of just show up and they're kind of just described as like a unit, and there's just and they have a captain of the Geats, and like as it's going on, and then eventually it's the captain of the Geats announces himself as I'm Beowulf. I'm Beowulf though. Like I like them showing up like as just this singular body.
Well, yeah,
and then eventually Beowulf is revealed from among them. That build up is so fucking cool. And to just have Beowulf constantly showing up in these movies and going, "I'm Beowulf," like just sucks.
They place
So
all
lame.
the emphasis on him, and they either take it from like nobody knows who he is except now he's super strong, like in the '99 version, or like he's God's gift to mankind and he's a fucking hero and shit. When in reality, it's much simpler. Like Hrothgar knows him because he knew him as a kid,
Yeah.
and like it's
And he happens to be like the greatest fucking warrior in the world, but who the fuck would know that?
yeah. Like it's just a weird. It's the
Like he just happens to be the fucking greatest warrior in the world.
Yeah.
But like fucking they don't have the internet. Nobody's gonna fucking know.
that, and like even in the story, him being the greatest is like still more subdued, you know? Like he's the greatest, but it's not like he's out here like one punching a mountain. Like he has a strength of like 10 dudes. It's not in the context of like heroes and shit. That's not crazy. It's still grounded enough to be like fun to watch and that sort of shit.
He's strong enough to wrestle with Grendel. That's
Man.
you know. Also, the part where is him and Grendel like wrestling, and it's just like he fucking has him in this vice grip,
Dude,
and then like Grendel got away, but he left his arm behind.
Yeah. In any of the decent translations, like the bit where Grendel grabs him and then Grendel realizes that Beowulf grabbed him and oh no, now we have an issue. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
No matter like God, I think at this point, like for the last I don't know how many years, basically every other book I've read has been Beowulf, like a translation. And it never gets old. Like it's just so good to read through. And it's like, I mean, like you said, it's not long. So just getting those fights and shit, it's so good every time. But yeah, I don't know why the films hate like just the stuff that the story does perfectly. And he tears off his arm. He has this like the translation is literally the sinews and tendons are like tearing from his arm, from his shoulder as it rips off. That's cool.
Yeah.
But no, he smashes it with a door.
Yeah, the way they fuck up so many of like the basic things that make Beowulf such a cool story, and like their interest in like sexying it up, and I don't,
Dude,
their priorities are so fucking. It's like it's just their priorities are just all in the wrong place.
Beowulf is, in my interpretation, I don't know what a scholar might think, he's a completely sexist object.
He doesn't have any children.
We cut 50 years in the future, and we don't even have a mention of a woman. Beowulf is just a king, baby. Like, literally nothing, and then in every fucking film, like, why are they having to make eyes at what's her name? Welguthau.
Yeah.
Wealthau. I can't pronounce any fucking names in this because they're all terrible.
Yeah, I know. I got nothing.
But like, or like in the story, you know, they don't mention that like Hrothgar was a drunk fucking asshole and his marriage was clearly falling apart, but that's what 2007 Beowulf decided was happening.
I mean, he's also completely smashed in Beowulf and Grendel the whole time.
Yeah, true.
But that one's out of like that's like part of his depression.
Yeah, he's
smashed.
He's like, yeah. Which at least makes more sense instead of us starting with him being like fucking.
Also, the fact that the 1999 version and the 2007 version make Hrothgar Beowulf's dad.
Yeah.
And have this whole thing of Grendel refusing not refusing to kill Hrothgar because of that. I was amazed that the 2007 movie just took that like from the 1999 one. Yeah, I couldn't believe they did that again.
That was another instance of like you said like, oh man, this is like exactly like the 99 film, and then I hadn't watched it yet, and I went and watched it, and it's literally the same exact scene, like the same scene.
This fucking 1999 adaptation that fucking nobody saw, but fucking Robert Zemeckis just like completely ripped it off, or Neil Gaiman maybe.
Yeah. God, it's ridiculous. I love it though. Like it's
pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, that's like what I got, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's.
Beowulf is good.
About all the stuff. Beowulf is good. Read Beowulf.
My suggestion.
Read the García Rubin comic. Watch the 1999 movie if you're looking for terrible dumb cheese. Specifically of the Christopher Lambert variety.
Yeah. I would say comic. Yeah. García Rubin, like you said. Movie.
Check out those Lynn Ward illustrations.
I guess for reading, I would say the Seamus Heaney version. If you're able to tolerate a little bit of more like classical stuff. It's not terribly complex. It's not like you're reading the Bible, but it still is a bit of. It's harder than Harry Potter, I suppose, for some people. Otherwise, like. The Maria Danova Headley version, like it gets the story across. It's just bro. Very good translation, but lots of bro.
Daddying stuff.
You know that you can't daddy until your daddy's dead, and then his daddy died.
Meanwhile, Beowulf gave 0 shits.
#blessed.